Democrats are offering further details of their border security plan. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. They unveiled a measure today that would not provide money for President Donald Trump's U.S.-Mexico border wall and denied his request for additional border agents. The move ignores Trump's warnings that they'd be wasting their time if they don't come up with that wall money. Negotiators face a February 15th deadline to avert another partial government shutdown.
All right, taking a first look at our weather today. It was supposed to be cold. That's what we were promised, and that's what, unfortunately,
that's really what
was.
We got.
I really wanted them to be wrong today, though. Today would have been a good day to
My
miss.
knuckles were turning red at times.
Like, that would have been great.
I know. When
temperature stuff is it's usually unlocked.
It's the real deal. Yeah.
And the wind was brutal.
Yeah,
the
I
wind.
This morning walking in that I was like, I should have covered more of my face, which Lee says to me all the time, and I never.
I would never be mean to you, Keith.
Listen.
I'm never mean to you anymore starting
this
today.
Is the
new thing. Yeah.
Not to be mean to me. See how long that lasts. 15 for a high officially in Portland, 3 in Greenville, 9 in Millinocket. So yeah, cold. Your average high is 32, at least in Portland this time of the year, but not unusual to get these cold snaps. Right now it's 15 in Saco, 15 in Portland, 12 in Lewiston, 9 in Bethel. Go to the north, not much better, 11 in Bangor, and 12 in Bar Harbor. So obviously going to be another cold night tonight as it's pretty clear. Wind chills below 0 in most spots. Believe it or not, though, these numbers are higher, warmer than they were earlier today because the winds were stronger even though the temperatures were a little bit colder. We were 15, 20 degrees below 0 for the wind chill earlier today. Radar is pretty clean, not a whole lot going on. I find this stuff interesting. Take a look at this off Lake Ontario. You've got just a nasty lake effect plume. Remember, lake effect is essentially caused, or it is caused, by very, very cold air over the unfrozen parts of the lake. And so Watertown seeing a bunch of snow, Oswego as well. These areas sometimes can get 5 or 6 feet of snow from a good lake effect band. I'd show you the hour-by-hour forecast, but guys, I guess the internet still is not working here in the building. So we're going to do some old school weather later, I think.
All right.
Awesome.
Grab the crayons.
So speaking of that, yes, the internet is down, hence why we have copious amounts of paper up here, copious notes.
Keeping the tree business
And if you're trying to join the party right now on our Facebook and YouTube live streams, if you're trying and you can't get through, don't worry, you're with everybody else in that. We just don't have internet at this time, so we're not streaming.
Apparently it's a fairly large internet outage, so it's not just our building, but we don't have it. I'm assuming lots of other people don't have it either, and whenever we do, we'll let you know.
But what we do have right now is our faith in the Patriots.
If this show it looks like it's a mess, there's some truth to that. Okay. All right. So Republic Jewelry and Collectibles is in Auburn. It's a business owned by a good friend of ours on the program, Dan Cunliffe. He's in before, been in before, done magic tricks for us on our Facebook Live feed. So they're super busy this time of year because the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and that is big bucks for anybody in the collectible world. The success Tom Brady has had on the football field is not debatable. But the team has not been the only winner.
It's great for business. Everything from our sports cards. One guy came in, bought everything that we had in Brady's, the autograph stuff. You know, even before Christmas, we were selling a lot of it.
The Pats having TB12 at the helm for the last 19 years has translated into big business in the collectible world.
Just his record and his stability with the Patriots, it just keeps the value really stable on his items.
If it has his picture, his name, his signature, people are willing to pay big bucks to get their bunches of Brady. But buyers need to beware.
They say there's about 80% things on eBay that are autographed or fake. So people are going to be really careful on what they're buying and who they're buying it from.
A certificate of authenticity should provide collectible consumers with peace of mind. As for the booming business of memorabilia, it's not just the Pats. 11 titles in the last 18 years for Boston sports teams is pretty special.
New England's been very blessed to have some great teams recently, and the sports collectible industry has been, great to be in.
And as you can imagine, people are in the store when the Patriots, if the Patriots, I said when, right, win the Super Bowl on Sunday, because now you've got Super Bowl memorabilia that's going to be shipped out all over the place and signed stuff, from the Super Bowl in Atlanta, and it's a big business for everybody. So everybody wins when the New England teams do well, at least everybody in New England.
Hopefully he can work his magic to have the Patriots win and bring our internet back.
Dan, give us some kind of a magic trick to bring the internet back.
Exactly. Speaking of predictions, though, you guys got to check this out again. Yeah.
I don't think we get to see it.
No, we don't get to see
No,
it?
because the internet's broken.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Wow, do we rely on
Yeah,
this?
we do
Okay.
have it.
No, this is the other day. So this is when our favorite pastor in Skowhegan predicted the actual correct score of the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Chiefs, 37-31. Well, guess what? He was back at it today, and he predicted that the Patriots would beat the Rams 34-24. So he has the prediction for the Patriots to beat the Rams in Super Bowl 53. He put up 2 4s when he first got started, just so nobody knew what it was. It was like 4-4.
Yeah.
And then he put the 2 in front of the Rams, and he put the 3 in front of the Patriots.
So you watched the whole process go down.
I watched it all because at the time I had the internet, so I could do that.
Highly
Oh, my
anticipated
goodness.
that
Okay.
prediction. All right, I think we're going to go to break now, right?
Yes, but coming up.
Later on, we're going to meet some Central Maine Power customers who are making drastic changes to their daily lives to escape high power bills.
And during our commercial break, our own Cameron O'Brien is going to have us doing a little cookie taste test to see what can meet her allergy needs. What about my allergies? Yeah, we'll see if they pass the test. All right, here's a feel-good story for you. It's Deja Rondo. She's out of Exeter, New Hampshire, and she plays football, one of the few girls in her town that plays football on a boys' team. And apparently she has been constantly bullied because of that. She wears number 11 because she loves Julian Edelman. Her story got to the Seacoast online newspaper. It got its way to the Patriots. Julian Edelman found out about this.
No.
The girl was invited down to Foxborough to play catch with Edelman, and at the end of their catch game, he said, guess what? You're coming to the Super Bowl. He gave her 2 tickets to the Super Bowl as well. It's blowing up our internet right now, which doesn't work for us, but probably does for you. So go to our website. You can see the whole story. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman hooking up a girl from Exeter, New Hampshire with a ticket to the Super Bowl
sweet is
because she's
that?
been bullied, which is obviously awful, and Jules doing the right thing. So.
And message to this girl, things will get
Absolutely.
better.
All right, look who's here.
All right,
guys?
Keith, so you spent some time in Atlanta, right?
We did. Well, recently. Yep.
Recently.
Just a 2-day tour there, and I lived there for 3 years before, so I was tapped as the resident tour guide, and I also was keeping the young crew down there in line for 2 days. That was previously your job.
Dad moves,
But now, so anyways, we got down there and we gave you a little tour of what the city's about.
Cool.
Check it out.
Atlanta has a ton of big ticket tourist attractions like the World of Coke or the Georgia Aquarium. But if you want to sip Moxie and look at fish, you could have stayed in Maine. Let's check out the A. Like most major cities, Atlanta is a collection of many very different neighborhoods. Let's focus on the big ones: downtown, midtown, and Buckhead. You can get a $23 cocktail at a 70-story rotating bar in downtown or visit the site of the '96 Olympics. But the heart of downtown actually is right here, the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Park. In a city that feels new and devoid of history to many northern visitors, stepping inside King's boyhood home transports you back to the early life of a true American hero. My personal favorite neighborhood in Atlanta is Midtown. It's the most walkable, the most jammed with art galleries and theaters, and features Atlanta's largest urban oasis, Piedmont Park. If you come down here, plan on at least a day in this neighborhood. Rent a bike and ride the Beltline. Also, just people watch. You won't regret it. All along the way, you'll run into an amazing food scene in Atlanta. You want to eat barbecue? Eat barbecue. You want to spend $150 on a bunch of hipster tapas? We got that covered. Over the past 10 years, the accolades have been exploding as fast as the 5-star Yelp reviews. Do you enjoy walking into a store, realizing a t-shirt costs $2,000, being too proud to immediately leave so you pretend you don't like the way it fits? If so, Buckhead could be for you. Somewhat disconnected from downtown and midtown geographically, Buckhead could stand as its own city. Shopping is the main attraction here, but it's also pretty big for salons and nightlife. Basically, if you fancy, head to Buckhead. Today's technically a snow day in Atlanta, so the traffic is relatively good. But remember, Atlanta's traffic is legendary for a reason. Find yourself on 285 at 5 p.m., you might as well park the car and take a nap because you're not going anywhere. That's Atlanta in a nutshell. Go Patriots.
All right, I can get behind that shopping scene.
I can totally attest to the New Center Maine food stipend Every trip I've ever been on, all the receipts I've ever turned in for meals, it's drive-through, 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 drive-through. It's all we could afford. So, yeah, that's good stuff. All right.
All right.
Well done, Keith. Well done.
Well, we have heard from so many of you about trying to keep up with your skyrocketing power bills. It's a power struggle across the southern part of the state. Chris Costa is going to get some answers.
Also, we'll get some more answers about our forecast. He was in Atlanta, now he's here, he's everywhere. It's the magic of Keith Carson. Yeah. Thousands of Central Maine Power customers are frustrated, struggling to pay their skyrocketing bills. An audit of the company found a small scope of billing and metering issues, but Maine's public advocate and Maine people aren't buying that.
It's a power struggle that continues while the Public Utilities Commission investigates. Central Maine Power offers several solutions, but as News Center Maine's Chris Costa shows us, some customers say they've tried everything and their bills are still shockingly high.
At least once a week, Kristen Perkins takes a hamper full of clothes to her Limerick coin op. She pays to do laundry here, even though her apartment has a fully functioning washer and dryer.
I couldn't even fathom what could be going on.
The stay-at-home mom of 5 kids says her electricity bills have always been on the high side. $250 a month is not unusual for a family of 7. She says she does 9 to 10 loads of laundry each week. But about 1 year ago,
that's where it kind of put me over the edge, and I was like, what is going on? Why is this happening?
Her bills doubled, nearly $500 a month.
And I don't think your car payment should ever be lower than your electric bill. That's just crazy.
Like more than 3,000 other Mainers, Perkins filed a complaint with the Public Utilities Commission. She called CMP. She says the company recommended keeping appliances unplugged and lights off and turning down her heat. So she did.
But nothing seems to change it.
That's got to be incredibly frustrating.
Very.
It alerts you immediately.
Central Maine Power offers online tools for customers to track their energy usage. The energy calculator can help people estimate their bills.
My energy usage was very much in line with the temperature.
The Energy Manager tool shows customers how much electricity they use each day and shows what areas of their homes make up the total usage.
If you take all of those tips and actions and you don't see a big difference in your bill, there's still something more. You still have to look further for it.
CMP stands by its stance. The customers are responsible for their high bills. So we walked through the energy calculator tool together, looking at the power output of each item in her home and estimating her monthly usage. Perkins' estimated bill was nowhere near what she's currently being charged.
That was about what you used to pay, right?
Right, yeah. And just wondering, am I going to have to get a job? My husband already works 3 jobs. Does he need to get another job?
Perkins has not called in any professional help to determine if there's some item in her home sucking up electricity. She says CMP told her not to pay the bill right now because of the ongoing PUC investigation. But she's worried about being stuck with a massive bill.
Very scary.
While she still needs an answer for her high bills, she says it's clear something does not add up. In Limerick, Chris Costa.
And that was Chris Costa. Customers can also sign up for alerts from Central Maine Power to know exactly the moment your usage goes over a certain amount.
All right, we're just getting started on this topic tonight because on News Center at 6, we'll bring in electricians who provide a third-party expert perspective on customers and their energy use. Hey, stay tuned for that. News Center Maine at 6 o'clock for that one.
Well, this was the day for me that the heat was just cranking in the
You
car, at
know
home.
I'm stingy with the heat. Like, I'm like, you know what? Throw on a blanket. Today, I was like, kid's jacket. Like, whatever we got to do today. Let's get through it.
Yeah, so I'm doing a story tomorrow on how much heat to 80,000 fans emit inside the Super Bowl. Another question, if you have all your kids home at the same time, you close the doors, do you think that'd be enough?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Are you going to answer that question?
Because when we're all home, it's hot.
It helps.
Like, yeah, I'm like, turn the heat down.
And if you run around, that
Especially
helps
if
you.
you're cooking.
Yeah.
So just something to think about if you want to save money. Make your oldest come home, you know?
Yeah.
I know you don't
Everybody
live here
home.
anymore, but you're in. Have a look at temperatures today. Yeah, it was cold. And currently it's 13 in Wiscasset, 13 in Rockland, 12 in Augusta. 3 in Greenville. Going to be a chilly night, below 0 in a lot of spots. Wind chills actually have moderated a bit since this morning. even though the air temperature got warmer, the winds settled, and so we kind of went back and forth on that. The coldest part of the day for most of us was around 9 or 10 a.m. with the strongest winds and some cold temperatures still remaining. As I mentioned before, radar is pretty clean, lake effect machine going on there. I like to watch these different bands when they congeal together like this. You get really, really heavy stuff, and these are parts of New York State, and it goes down into Pennsylvania as well. Some of these areas average over 200 inches of snow a year, and it's almost all from this lake effect machine. All right, overnight lows tonight will be below zero easily into the mountains, single digits along the coastline. And the story going forward over the next few days is gradual moderation in temperatures. And so by tomorrow, we're in the upper teens. By Saturday, we're in the 20s. And by Sunday, we're around 30 degrees for a high, at least along the coastline. So it's a very gradual process that gets us there. And here's your upward trend. Again, upper 20s possible, right around 30 on Sunday. Monday should be 35 plus, and then 50 or so on Tuesday. Some debates as to whether or not that will last into Wednesday and Thursday, but different computer models have different ideas about that. By the way, I would love to show you what's going to happen as far as precipitation. The maps aren't working, so you'll actually just have to pay attention, which is Saturday is largely quiet until the afternoon. There'll be some light snow and snow shower activity Saturday afternoon through Saturday night, up to an inch of accumulation. Super Bowl Sunday, I should say, looks quiet, and then we'll watch a storm system as we head into later in the week. That will be Wednesday night, Thursday. Just want to update you on snow so far this season. We've kind of come towards average here in Portland, same in Bangor, but Caribou, guys, 111 inches of snow. The average so far this time of the year is 60 inches of snow, so almost doubling up on that. And here's a stat no one but me will care about. Caribou came within 0.1 inches of its snowiest month ever recorded. Not just snowiest January, but snowiest month, and they didn't get it. So that's sad. But they got really close. Obviously, number 2, it was the snowiest January ever recorded. By the way, light mix is possible Monday as the front comes in, and then 50. Yeah, 50 looks good on Tuesday. It's probably short-lived. Next storm is Thursday. I don't know what it will be. It'll be a mix of something, because that's been how our winter has gone.
But if you can throw me one of those 50 bones every once in a while, like even for a day, I'll take that, because it gives me a little meltability.
I feel like that's what people have said about this winter, is that it lacks it lacks a character so far. We've had some really cold times, then we moderate, and some messy storms. Nothing about it is consistently one theme.
Well, you'll remember one of us back in November. But I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it just because we got a ways to go.
But what about Caribou? See,
I'm looking good right now.
The state's so big. Caribou's had a really snowy winter. Portland, Boston's had almost no snow.
If you look at the air check, though, I was clear as day.
I remember.
I said Cumberland County, so because I wasn't going with the county.
That's true.
Yeah, because I knew I wouldn't have won that one.
Yeah. Anyway, looking forward to that warm up. All right, a lot more News Center now when we come back. Guys, just a reminder, our internet is down, so if you're trying to join us on Facebook Live, you're not alone if you're having some issues. Our internet is down, so we'll try to get back to that tomorrow. Meanwhile, down in Atlanta, there lives a man who has Maine so deep in his veins, he can't help but dish it out to Southerners every single day.
This unusual man that you're about to meet has very deep ties to the Mid-Coast. His name is James Werfling. He grew up on fresh lobster in Camden, and even though Atlanta is his home today, he serves up just a little of his childhood every single day to the folks down south.
When James Werfling opens up his food truck in Atlanta, he's serving up a treat many people in Georgia have never tried.
I'll just say you can tell the difference.
It's the lobster that shaped his life growing up on the coast of Maine.
Ever since I remember, we've been getting lobster brought to our house from other people that work in the harbor and all that. So it's literally been a part of my life, my whole life.
His whole life split between two very different ends of the East Coast.
I tell people that, I have 3 moms and 3 dads.
Werfling grew up in Camden, but was born in Augusta, Georgia. Marie and David Werfling, the captain of the Rockland, Maine ferry, adopted him when he was just 2 weeks old. 13 years later, he made his first contact with his birth parents. 3 years later, on his 16th birthday, he met them in person.
It was a lot. There's definitely a lot. My whole family actually in Maine there's 5 of us. Everyone in my family was adopted except for my dad, and I was the only one to ever meet their birth family. So I mean, I definitely, you know, day to day, I definitely probably take it for granted, but you know, at the time, you know, I'm just very fortunate. All of our rolls always get butter.
He lived back and forth between Georgia and Maine and started his culinary career through Southern Maine Community College.
I wanted to get back, you know, move back down and be with my birth family, but I wanted to continue to do what I was doing, you know, cooking and stuff. So I figured, why not do the food truck?
Now he's serving up traditional Maine lobster rolls and riffing on the New England favorite with the help of old co-workers from Portland Lobster Company.
We've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and he's been wanting to do it for a long time.
Chris Mariner just moved down to Atlanta from Maine in November.
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. It really is, to just listen to him explain the fact that they love just taking every bite and getting that juicy butter right in there, you know, like they love it.
While Wefferling is not a Mainer by birth, that's how he was raised. And now he's sharing that staple of Maine culture with many who have never tried a real lobster.
It's kind of really all we know.
I'm hungry. From food to food, and Obi's been working on something she's going to show us tomorrow. Give us a little sneak peek.
That's right, Trips Cafe in Auburn. They were so kind to me. Primal, paleo, dairy-free, gluten-free, keto. I've got it all for you tomorrow, and you get to see me eat my first whoopie pie. So tune in for that alone. Yeah, buddy.
Right, so you got dessert food over here.
Yes.
Clay was doing lobster this morning. Coco was doing lobster in the afternoon. What is going on? It's like
we're hungry here at New Center, Maine. We ain't got internet, and we're hungry.
Waffle House.
This is
Keith got to go to Waffle House.
That's right. Cam, thanks for sharing the goods.
Absolutely.
Let me take a look.
Okay, I'll
see
take a
what's
look.
going on over
You
here.
can try. Careful, you do have that nut allergy.
I don't want to kill you.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Not on air.
They'll hold off for a little bit.
But it'd be really good TV and we're in ratings.
It would be.
Oh,
Cam,
Lord.
this is a series that a lot of people have said on Facebook that, you know, they have allergies too, and they're looking to, and a lot of viewers actually recommended this place.
This was the spot that people came to me and they said, Cameron, you have to try this next. Trips, not only because of the food, but the people.
Exactly.
The husband and wife that run it care so deeply about their customers, and they want them to be able to have the food that they so desperately long for.
All right, so your story's tomorrow, but
That's right.
Were you happy?
Oh, I'm so happy.
Okay, so that's all,
that's
all
so
we're getting
good.
for now.
It's
There's
so
your
good.
appetizer, the main dish tomorrow.
Thanks,
New Center
Cam.
Maine at 5:30 starts, we think, right now.